I routinely get mistaken to be about 10 or 12 years younger than I actually am. And for those of you guys who have not watched my videos previously where I've announced my age, do me a favor, drop in the comments below how old you think I am. And this is not my own self-assessment. This is from, both men and women over, say, the last, I'd say, 10 or 15 years. I sort of routinely get this comment. Now, guys, I could look even younger if I shaved this sort of stubble. It's kind of giving it away a little bit. But do me a favor, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. I'm waiting for you guys. Anyways, guys, this isn't because of genetics. And it's not because of some magic supplements I take, okay? And it's definitely not because from some sort of YouTube, Instagram, TikTok biohacking. It's not because I shove my face, in a bucket of ice in the morning or go out and get sun as soon as it comes up or any such nonsense, guys. It's very simple. It's because of simple, disciplined habits most men sort of completely abandon. They either never did or they completely abandoned sort of after around 35 or thereabouts. And for a lot of guys, and they hit that like 35, they start to age fast, okay? And I'm talking about the guys, and you know what I'm talking about, the guys where you see the dad bods. They got the low energy, the tired eyes with the bags underneath them, the sloppy clothes with absolutely no style, that sort of defeated posture, the hunched shoulders. And what I call, and this one, look for this one, guys, next time you're out in the mall, Home Depot or, just out anywhere and you see a guy, and a lot of times with his wife, and I'm not making any correlation there, but the guys have what I call that 1,000-yard stare, just that blank, defeated stare. So today, guys, I want to talk about how men can actually age well, not wage age. And I'm not talking about cosmetic surgeries or, sort of looks maxing as the younger guys like to do. And again, you don't need to be that kid that smashes bones in his face or goes, you go get surgeries. Guys, you don't have to do this nonsense. I'm just talking about real, actionable habits that keep you looking sharp and energetic and younger looking well into your 40s, 50s, and even beyond, guys. All right. So here, I'm going to talk about the brutal reality of aging for men. So guys, I like to start this with an uncomfortable truth. Most men don't age. What they do is they surrender. They check the hell out and they sort of give up. Again, somewhere in this 35 to 40, a lot of guys check out. Whether it's from career stress, relationships, the kids, and just the routines of life. A lot of guys just sort of give up. If they were going to the gym, they sort of stop. They stop caring how they look, and they just settle into this routine. Now, guys, a lot of this comes from what I call especially if you're in a long-term relationship or a marriage, this relational comfort. And you see it on both, men and the women, and they let themselves go. But I think you're doing a disrespect to not only yourself, first and foremost, but your partner, saying, oh, I'm comfortable with this person. Well, I got to be honest with you. If my current girlfriend just absolutely let herself go, that's not a good thing. And nor would would I do that to her. I care about how I present myself. And I think it goes to the level of respect, not only for the other person, but first and foremost for yourself, self-respect. But I think, guys, what happens in this age is you'll see guys start drinking more, especially the beers, a couple beers after work. Their sleep goes to shit and their diet sort of comes, Uber Eats, DoorDash, and whatever convenience food they can find. And then what happens is the guy who's suddenly a solid athlete at, 25 to 28 years old, he starts to look 57 when he's 42, And then sometimes you'll meet that guy, and these guys stand out because it's such the outlier, is you'll meet that guy in his late 40s, early 50s, still looks sharp as hell. He's lean, he's muscular, he's energetic, and he's what I refer to as put together. You guys, the old phrase that my pops, both my grandfathers, they like to say, it wasn't put together. He said, what was the term I'm thinking of here? Buttoned up. Took me a minute to think of that, guys. Buttoned up. And that's what my pops used to say. Very, very true. Guys, and this isn't luck. It's simple maintenance. Like you would take care of your car, your house or anything. Your body requires maintenance. And guys, that's nothing but simple effing discipline. So for example, guys, if you had a Ferrari, and again, I don't know what kind of car, high performance car, Ferrari, Porsche, whatever, think of your body and yourself as that Ferrari. You've got to take care of it. It needs maintenance and it needs the right fuel. Don't think of yourself as a 1977 Pinto, guys. And yes, I just kind of gave my age away there that I know what a 1977 Pinto is. All right, guys, moving on, and let's get to rule number 1. All right, guys, this is from my book, and I had this, I think it's like one of the early chapters in this book. It's entitled, Lift Heavy Shit. Pretty simple. I don't really think I have to explain more, but I will. Guys, one of the, if not the biggest accelerator in aging in men is loss of muscle. And frankly, it's not even close. So most men will start losing muscle mass probably somewhere in their mid-30s. And they don't do a whole lot about it. As I said, a lot of guys sort of check out and give up. And they accept this as a sort of normal part of aging. You hear these tropes, oh, men lose 1% of muscle mass after X year, and it keeps going down. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Muscle mass keeps your metabolism high. I can tell you this for an absolute certainty. It also keeps your posture strong. Guys, I was working on it even today, but I used to have horrible posture. My shoulders leaned in and my back. But I knew I had to strengthen not only my core, my upper back muscles, just my skeletal system as a whole. It's going to keep you, your posture strong, your metabolism high. It even keeps something like your face tighter, your skin. Guys, when you lift, your body produces, hormones that produce collagen. Collagen, the loss thereof, is one of the fastest indicators of aging. Thankfully, guys, as men, we do lose collagen less than women. You'll see that with women. It's why they get so much freaking Botox. Because the forehead, the cheeks, the lips is an indicator, hands. Guys, you see this. When you see it, easiest way to tell somebody's age, especially a female, look at her hands and the neck. Those two things are dead giveaway. You put makeup all over your face. Look at that neck, guys. Pro tip there. You're welcome. But when you guys stop lifting weights, everything starts to sag. I believe I'm saying this term right, gynecomastia, man boobs, guys. I can't think of a whole lot, maybe the giant beer gut, but generally if you got the beer gut, you got the gynecomastia. Guys, not a good look. Nobody wants man boobs, okay? Fat starts to accumulate. Your energy is going to drop. Your confidence is going to drop as well. I think we talked about it in some of the other videos. When you look in that mirror, guys, and you do have these things, the beer gut, the man boobs, it's your confidence is going to drop. And then also your T levels drop. Guys, this is absolute factual. As you gain weight, your estrogen goes up, your T levels are going to go down. I don't know if you guys may notice it, but I certainly do. When you lift heavy, go do leg day, do a heavy lift day. When you leave the gym, I notice like my T, I can literally feel it in my blood. And when you get a good night's sleep, especially after lifting, you will be able to notice this. Guys, we don't have to complicate this either. You don't have to look through the internet and scour for plans. I would say lift 3 to 5 days a week. Whatever. Probably around 4 would be that sort of sweet spot. I am typically lifting probably 5, but I'm sort of, addicted to that. But have a plan and stick to it, guys. Again, as I said, it doesn't have to be fancy. The simple movements, sort of deadlifts, squats, bench press. Guys, again, there's so much fitness bullshit online. Stick to the simple basics. Again, we overcomplicate things. You don't even need a gym. Get on the floor and do some push-ups, sit-ups, dips. These things are not hard, guys. But what it does take is just consistency and discipline, period, okay? And then one of the biggest reasons that people, will assume I'm younger than I am is I do this stuff, this sort of boring repetition every damn day. Guys, again, you can age or you can sort of not age. It's up to you. I'm just telling you, it's not as hard as, it's not very hard here. All right, guys, rule number 2. This goes part and parcel with number 1, stay lean. Well, lifting's going to help you do that. But body fat ages men almost faster than anything. Body fat goes up, that muscle goes down. So when guys hit 25 to 30% body fat or more, which is not uncommon in the United States, where, I think it's about 75% of people are overweight, 40%-ish are considered obese. It's not good, guys. All you have to do is look around. But your face is your face belies, it's going to give you away. It's like on dating apps, guys. I said using women because, most of us guys are looking for women. No shade if you're looking for guys, if that's your thing. No judgment here. But you see it. It's the puffy cheeks, your jawline disappears. When you got double and triple chins, guys, come on. And your eyes look tired. You just see it in the eyes. You start to get that sort of black and blue and the lines underneath there. It's just very obvious. But the difference between 15% body fat and 30% body fat, it can make you look 10 years older if you're pushing that 30%. It's just simply that. Let's just say you're a guy who's 5'10", and you weigh 220. You're obviously overweight. Say you lost 30 pounds and got to 190, 185. You are going to look years younger. I promise you on that. And guys, this isn't about being shredded or jacked. And yes, I made a video about why all men need to be jacked. This one here, sort of tongue in cheek, guys, but it's speaking about this stuff, why you need to be in shape. You just need to be lean and athletic, guys. It's really that simple. Nobody's asking you to be Mr. Olympia. Just don't be the Pillsbury Doughboy. All right. Rule number 3, guys, sleep like your life depends on it. And guys, it kind of does. So sleep is possibly the most underrated anti-aging and sort of feel-good thing there is. I would say maybe walking would be next. But guys, you need to sleep, right? 7 to 8 hours. Period. End of story. There's no more. You don't have to read science on it. You don't have to say I can go off 5 and just stop. 7, 8 hours. Okay. And when you sleep poorly, guys, your hormones are going to tank. Cortisol is going to go up. What happens then? Well, T levels will go down. And cortisol is going to lead to fat, gaining fat. Just happens. And stress. Your skin quality drops, guys. Energy disappears. I truly protect my sleep like it's a non-negotiable. Why? Because it is. I go to bed most days around 9 o'clock. If it's 9:30, that's late. And you say, is that boring? Yeah, kind of is. But I'm up at 5:30 and do what I got to do. Consistently, guys, stick to a sleep schedule. And that even means on the weekends, guys. If you want to stay up a little later on the weekends, great. But you need to maintain that consistency. Your body will sort of adapt to that. Dark room, guys. No phones, no TVs, no computers. Lights out. Shut it off. Go to bed. Ideally, guys, the bedroom should be cooler. I think most guys would probably agree with that. Most guys tend to get hot at night, especially if you're lifting, guys. You will get hotter at night. All right, guys. Rule 4, stop fucking poisoning yourself. Okay, guys, could be a lot of vices, but I'm going to sort of hit on alcohol because it's probably the most prevalent and the most common to men. Alcohol will age you fast, guys, and it has become very, very normalized. Although recently there's been a shift, especially among the young people, to sort of maybe move away from alcohol. I think part of that is, people don't go out and it's very, very expensive. But another video, another day. But let's take 2 guys, both about 45 years old. One drinks heavily and regularly, most days of the week, especially on the weekends. The other guy drinks very occasionally, in moderation, or never. He doesn't drink at all. That difference is massive, and you will see it. the skin, the eyes, the weight, the energy, and the recovery. Yes, guys, there are anecdotal evidence about the guy who drinks, but he's still, in great shape. But those outliers just sort of prove the rule. And again, guys, I am not telling you to never drink. You don't have to be a teetotaler. You don't have to sort of quit. But if you do want to look younger, guys, and again, feel better, drinking will sabotage you, period. Again, I'm not going to tell you my age. You guys have probably sort of figured out, but I promise you, if I had too many on a Friday, for me, that's probably 3 or 4 at most these days. I'm not fucking, I'm useless till about sometimes Sunday. That's how much. I just don't drink a lot anymore, guys. Again, not against it, but it's just not something I really have in my life. All right, guys. Number 5, dress like you respect yourself. Guys, this is another pattern we fall into. Guys, it will give your age away. When you're wearing, the dad jeans that go over your dad body, over your dad gut, with the New Balance sneakers, with, the $3 polo shirt, or, clothes that your wife bought to dress you. Stop, guys. Those baggy clothes, especially guys that are heavier, and then you wear baggy clothes, it makes you look even worse. They talked about the old sneakers, the cargo shorts that are, down to the knee or past the knee. Guys, I'm not saying you need to be on a runway in Milan. Don't get it twisted, but just have clothes that fit. Have a little bit of style. Doesn't have to be flashy or garish, just well-fitting clothes. Guys, even the best, most expensive clothes can look like garbage if they don't fit properly. Guys, one of the things best to do is in your town, find your tailor. Because once you develop your sizes, he can fix just about anything, and you'll look so much better. Guys, when I talk about clean shoes, that's one, especially guys who wear actual shoes to work. Make sure they're polished and clean. Nothing. Guys, and I used to dress up every day. Nothing looks worse on a guy than ill-kept shoes. There's probably other things, but and again, last video, guys, I talked about dating. Something women notice right away because it tells a lot about you. I have a chapter in the book on that, this book. Again, if you haven't bought it, you should check it out. Different cover. Anyways, guys, grooming. Get the haircut. A guy caught mine a little short today, but Sebastian es mi hombre. I won't give him any shit. Shave. Brush your teeth. Fix your teeth. Guys, dental surgery and dental sort of replacements are it's a lot cheaper these days. Take care of yourself, guys. Shower regularly. Take care of your skin. Brush your teeth. Comb your hair. Get a haircut. It's terrible that I have to remind guys in my core audience, 35 to 50, or so, to do this. But you need to do this, guys. The guy who you just do these things. Just present yourself. You're going to knock off 5 to 10 years. I promise you. It's that simple. All right, guys, on to rule number 6. Energy is your real age marker. All right, guys, here's something that's going to get overlooked. Youth is mostly about energy. And think of those guys, what you would deem sort of youthful that are in their 50s. They have that exuberance still. They have, energy. They have that sort of go-get-'em spirit. And it's not about wrinkles, guys. It's not about gray hair. I mean, my beard's starting to gray and, probably sooner rather than later here, I'm going to be gray. But it's not going to take my energy away. I promise you that. Sort of how you move, how you talk. People tell you, are you walking with sort of a sense of purpose or are you ambling? Are you talking like you're defeated or are you talking with, to say something, with meaning? How engaged in life are you? Are you sort of checked out? When guys lose their purpose, guys, or sort of their mission or, call it your North Star, you will start to age and it'll exacerbate itself very, very quickly. So when you stay curious and sort of ambitious and active and you're looking to try new things, and guys, it doesn't matter. I went in a boxing ring last year at, you'll guess the age. And I didn't want to get knocked the fuck out, but it was just something to try. And, it doesn't matter your age, I guess is what I'm saying. Guys, as I said, I didn't magically wake up and look younger. It's the result of systems that I followed for years. I would venture to say decades, guys. training, sleep, nutrition, grooming, and lifestyle, sort of all encompassing. And none of it in and of itself, guys, is extreme. Frankly, it's not at all. It's rather mundane and sort of boring. But what it is terribly consistent. And consistency compounds, guys. I've talked about this in other videos. These small habits, whether it's saving money, reading, or whatever your sort of passion is, whatever you want to get better at, small actions add up big. You may not, like I said, you go to the gym today, you're not going to look in the mirror tomorrow. But a year from now, you're going to notice. All right, guys, getting this towards the end. Appreciate all you guys sticking with me. I'm trying to keep the videos short. I've had some people kind of comment on that, and I do tend to sort of amble or ramble. I apologize for that. But guys, if you're still here, appreciate you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, pass this on to guys who could use this. Guys, aging is not inevitable. Aging is inevitable. Said that wrong. But looking old isn't. It's not something you have to give into. Men will start aging quickly because they stop putting effort in. They stop doing that preventative maintenance. But I'm telling you, if you stay disciplined, stay active, you stay lean, you don't have to be a bodybuilder, and you sort of maintain a purpose in life, it's not an issue for a guy in his 40s, 50s, or even 60s at least to even outperform, guys in their 20s and 30s. Trust me, I know this firsthand. Guys, I used to play basketball with guys that were 10, 15 years my younger, and I had no problem keeping up. It's no different in the gym. And especially, guys, in a lot of Western countries where you see these younger guys and you're like, it kind of worries you for the future. But that's another day as well, guys. So, guys, to wrap it up, if you're a guy in his 30s, 40s, or 50s and you're trying to rebuild momentum and discipline in your life, I'd really encourage you to subscribe to the channel. I talk about sort of men's development and based on sort of discipline and mindset and, in full accountability and full responsibility yourself, guys. So that's what this is all about. I appreciate you guys again. And again, this is about being a better version of yourself and maximizing your potential. Guys, thanks again. Appreciate you. And remember, live deliberately.